Look at this. To most people, this looks like the future. But to 18 million people living in Shenzhen, this is just another Tuesday. I have been obsessed with how this actually works. Because this is not just about a cool looking drone. It's about energy grid underneath it, the 5G network powering it, and the government that treats technology like a national priority. The way we treat roads and electricity. So today I want to understand how did China pull this off and why does their model look so completely different from what we see in West or even here in India. I am Atharva and this is the story of how China built its own tech ecosystem from the ground up. Here's the thing most people miss about China's tech story. It wasn't built by few genius, brilliant founders in a garage. It was built like a massive 40-year-old project where government laid roads before anyone drove a car. Think of it this way. In US, the innovation is top down. Someone builds a world-class AI model, GPT-4, and then figures out how to sell it. The product comes first and infrastructure catches up later. But in China, it's completely opposite. They will build the infrastructure first. They will build grids first. As of early 2026, China has entered its 15th 5-year plan. The big idea is something they call new quality productive forces. Sounds like a buzzword, right? But what it actually means is China is treating AI like how we treat electricity, as industrial infrastructure, not entertainment, not product, as infrastructure. And here's where it gets interesting. To run AI at scale, you need two things, data and energy. And right now, US is scrambling to find enough power to run its massive data centers. China saw this coming a decade ago and they spent last 10 years becoming the world leader in what they call the new three. Electric vehicles, lithium batteries, and solar energy. They solved the power problem before the intelligence problem. It's like India building UPI before worrying about which fintech apps would sit on top. The platform came first, the apps followed. China did the same thing with AI and energy at scale. So the real strategy is not about flashy product, it's about boring infrastructure that makes the products possible. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. The reason why China's tech ecosystem looks the way it does is because of Great Firewall. When companies like Google, Twitter, Facebook and Amazon were blocked in China, something unexpected happened. Chinese entrepreneurs didn't just sit around frustrated, they built their own versions. And because they were building for massive mobile first generation with no existing competition, they could go further faster. And this is where, ladies and gentlemen, Super App was born. WeChat started as a simple messaging app in 2011, kind of like WhatsApp. But within a few years, Tencent embedded payments, e-commerce, mini programs, which are basically apps inside the app, content feeds, and even government services, all in one place. Imagine if WhatsApp also had Google Pay, Swiggy, YouTube, and all your other services linked into one single app. That's WeChat. Alipay did the same thing. It started as a simple escrow service for online shopping, like trust layer between buyers and sellers. Then it became a full financial super app. Investments, insurance, loans, everything. In India and the West, our apps are siloed. Your bank doesn't talk to your messenger doesn't talk to your delivery app. That means you're constantly switching, logging in and re-entering details.
On your way to the office, a message comes in from your boss. Can you grab them a coffee? They pay you back in a different app. You go to another app to place an order for pickup, and your mobile wallet needs to be updated. Okay, there. Now, coffee, which took 4 apps to accomplish. But in China, it takes just one, WeChat, a super app.
In China's ecosystem, everything is connected. Your digital footprint is your identity. But here's the trade-off, and it's real one. In this system, being visible to the app and by extension to the state is the price you're paying for admission to the modern life. You get instant credit, seamless travel, frictionless payments. But your data is no longer yours. It's a different social contract, one that prioritizes efficiency over privacy. Whether that's a good deal probably depends on where you sit. Here's something genuinely counterintuitive. China's late arrival to internet actually gave it a huge advantage. While West built everything around desktop computers and then they had to slowly, painfully migrate to mobile, China largely entirely skipped the desktop era. By the time hundreds of millions of Chinese consumers came online in late 2000s, smartphones were already cheap everywhere. So they built for mobile from day one. Think about QR codes. In India and US, QR codes were marketing gimmick for years. Those weird black and white squares on magazine ads that nobody scanned. In China, by 2015, QR codes were how you paid for your street food, how you shared your contact, and how you donated to someone on the street.
Ago, I used WeChat to order these dumplings using that QR code.
So China normalized QR code payments way before rest of the world caught on. Alipay and WeChat Pay process trillions of dollars in transactions every year. India is actually the closest comparison here. India also leapfrogged. UPI let millions of Indians skip credit cards entirely and go straight to instant digital payments.
That's how you pay. Yeah, that's how you pay. Everyone's using a smartphone. Everyone has good speeds of data. Everyone has a digital bank account, and that's how the real life is.
You can't tell China's story without talking about government. In 2015, China launched Made in China 2025, a blueprint to dominate 10 key technology sectors: AI, robotics, semiconductors, electric vehicles. Billions in state funding flowed into tech. Cities competed to attract startups. Universities produced engineers at a scale world had never imagined. China now produces more STEM graduates annually than any other country in the world. It files more patents than United States. And in AI research, in some ways, it is ahead of the West. But here's the nuance. Government isn't just an accelerator. It also shapes what gets built. In India, we are world class at building for convenience. UPI, 10-minute grocery delivery, amazing consumer apps. We build for ambitious urban professionals. China builds for national capacity. While we celebrate 10-minute milk delivery, a Chinese startup of the same age is likely building a solid-state battery or a humanoid robot for a car factory. Why the difference? Because in China, government nudges capital. Want to build a gaming company? You have to face heavy regulations. But if you want to build a semiconductor foundry, government will move mountains for you. It's like the difference between the market that rewards what people want to buy
बता क्या खाएगा? स्विगी से 10 मिनट में आ जाएगा एकदम फ्रेश.
versus the market that rewards what country needs to build. So neither is truly right or wrong, but the output looks completely different. So where is all of this headed now? 3 words: AI, electric vehicles, and global expansion. On AI, China has officially declared that it wants to be a world leader by 2030. Baidu has ErnieBot as a flagship domestic large language model. And then there's DeepSeek. In early 2025, DeepSeek's R1 model shocked the global tech industry.
January 27th, 2025 may go down in history as DeepSeek Day.
DeepSeek shaking up global tech.
NVIDIA losing nearly $600 billion in market cap today alone.
It reportedly matched GPT-4 level performance at a fraction of training cost. Headlines ran everywhere. Investors, researchers, and Silicon Valley insiders all asked one question: how did a Chinese startup do this so fast and so cheaply? On electric vehicles, China isn't catching up, it's leading. BYD, backed partly by Warren Buffett, overtook Tesla as world's best-selling EV maker in 2023. China now accounts for over 60% of global EV sales. The battery technology, the supply chains, the manufacturing scale, all built over a decade, have given China a structural advantage that Western automakers are scrambling to close. And then there's global ambition. The clearest example, TikTok. With a billion users worldwide, TikTok did something no Chinese consumer tech company had ever done before. It genuinely broke through in Western markets. It changed how short-form videos work globally. Instagram had to copy its algorithm with Reels. YouTube responded with shorts. The geopolitical blowback has been fierce. The US government spent years trying to ban or force a sale of TikTok.
We're looking at TikTok. We may be banning TikTok.
The European Union imposed tariffs on Chinese EVs.
It is a means to correct an imbalance, an unfair competitive situation to the detriment of producers of electric vehicles in the EU compared to those who are producing vehicles in China.
It's no longer just a trade dispute, it's a full-scale technology Cold War. China's tech story is not a simple one. It's not purely a story of innovation, because the Great Firewall gave Chinese company a protected home field to grow in. Also, it is not the story of government genius, because the entrepreneurs Jack Ma, Ren Zhengfei of Huawei and others took real risks, built real companies and created real things. It's a story about what happens when a billion plus people come online at once, when a government bets hard on technology as a national infrastructure, and when companies are forced to solve uniquely difficult problems at an unprecedented scale. Whether you find it inspiring or alarming probably depends on where you sit. But one thing is certain, world's technological future will not be written by Silicon Valley alone. China built its own internet and now it's trying to shape ours. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe for more such insights and see you in the next video.